2, 1. Hi, everybody. It is noon. We're in Wilsonville, so this must be Wilsonville Live at noon. My name is Kevin O'Malley, your Wilsonville Chamber of Commerce CEO. We're really glad that you're here today, and even happier to have the person of the hour, our economic development manager from the city of Wilsonville. And you are doing well, Mr. Jordan Vance. Yes.
Yes, I am. A lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, but it's important work, and yeah, staying busy over here.
So if you have been asleep for the last week here in Wilsonville, the city of Wilsonville, to their credit, and a lot of big thank you to our city council and our staff leadership, put together a $400,000 grant program as a business assistant program. So our normal first question is COVID-19 having any impact on you in your position or with your quote unquote clients, or in this case, the businesses? Probably yes, right? It's been a
Yes, exactly. I kind of forget what life looked like before 5 weeks ago because my world is almost exclusively COVID economic response at this point in time. So I'll touch on a few of the things that we're doing right now, and Kevin mentioned one of them. We have a gift card program. We've put $20,000 behind gift cards for. Is this good?
Yeah, no, I'm just putting up 2 thumbs up, meaning that was.
I thought my frame was off. Okay. So we had this idea of helping kind of 2 audiences at the same time. So buying gift cards to local restaurants and then distributing those to families in need who might be experiencing food scarcity in Wilsonville through our partners at Wilsonville Community Sharing. So we're tracking all of our activity with the utilization of those cards. We have $20,000 that we've purchased so far, and I think there's an appetite to go further if we see that there is good utilization. Okay. So that's one program. And then Kevin mentioned our grant program. We've been very busy with that. So the council approved $400,000 in funding last week. I think it's moving very, very rapidly, and now we're administering it and hoping to get things moving in the next with approvals in the next week or so here. But so that's to qualify. We're hoping 156 business grants,
right?
3 different ranges. So fixed sizes at $1,000 for home-based businesses, $2,000 for micro businesses, which we define as under 5 full-time employees, and $4,000 for small businesses, which we're defining as under 20 full-time employees.
So Jordan, just a question if you're watching today, being Thursday the 29th, the deadline is today, correct?
Yes, exactly. So the deadline is today by 5 p.m. We're trying to be as equitable as we can. We've done a whole lot of marketing. I know the chamber has done a lot of marketing, and the city actually called 680 businesses last week. So every business that we have from our business license list that has under 20 full-time employees, we called. We had 20 volunteers. We divided and conquered, called everyone, left voicemails, emails. So we want this to be equitable and open so everyone in the city who qualifies gets a fair shot. Just a reminder, we need a complete application to be considered. And something else we've been doing is if your application is incomplete, whether it was accidental or it was a technical glitch, we've been flagging those and following up with applicants. So letting people know. Now, and one of the biggest mistakes is forgetting to certify the application at the end. So you have to write your name, it's your signature, and say, I certify this is accurate. And we need a W-9. So we won't consider applications that don't upload a W-9 document. But yes, today we sent out a reminder email this morning, a final one, and today is the final day. So 5 p.m. this evening is the cutoff.
So just because we've got a lot more to talk about, one final question on the business relief, the expected next steps and timeline over the next week to 2 weeks would be what, Jordan?
So today's the cutoff. We're spending the rest of this week evaluating and scoring the applications. We hope to be able to notify applicants by next week sometime, and the goal is to have funding follow shortly thereafter. Best case scenario, it'd be great if we could get checks out by end of next week. I don't think we want to promise anything, but certainly within the next couple weeks here, we should be able to process checks.
Okay. The staff is dedicated, has done a lot of work to make this happen. There is no reason for them that they want to delay it. They just want to make sure that they do everything fairly and transparently, so that the process is great. So as you think about a couple weeks out, 400,000 has gotten out in the community, which is a huge help to our small businesses. We still live in a world where COVID-19 has us stay home to be safe, and the next steps of recovery. As an economic development manager professional, you're having conversations around the state with next steps. Can you share a little bit about what you think are likely next steps here in the next month for us?
Yes, absolutely. So there's a sort of framework and timeline that I think economic development and public sector professionals are rallying around at this point. And it was in a white paper that a consultant firm downtown and the University of Oregon put together. And what they're basically saying is this period is known as the sort of shutdown and stabilization period. So up until June, potentially, maybe even longer, is shut down, really stop the bleeding, and the focus is stabilizing and supporting businesses.
Okay.
From that point, we move into reopening. So that could be between maybe June and December, when businesses will resume operations and we'll try to get back to some semblance of normal. And we know it'll be a new normal. And then from December onwards would be the economic recovery.
Right.
And so a lot of this is dependent on the health outcomes, testing, vaccine, so that the economic side of it seems to follow the health side of it. But that is what we know. And what I've been hearing is that there might be a focus on distribution of PPE to businesses throughout the state. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I think government officials might try to play some type of role in facilitating access, whether it's access to marketplaces or distribution for businesses that don't have access to PPE.
Okay.
It's looking like that will be a focus. I've heard conversation about potential business recovery centers emerging throughout the region, using some of the funding that may trickle down from the federal stimulus to support some of these efforts. It's all preliminary and in preliminary conversation right now. There's one other point I was going to mention. I've lost my.
For those of you that haven't had a chance to work with Jordan before, he is our rock star, normally working on business attraction and retention. And in a COVID-19 post world that we will live in, the retention becomes recovery and continuity of our businesses. So we are working together, as we always have, very closely, the Chamber and Economic Development, to meet the needs of our city businesses. So if you have a need, you can reach out to Jordan, you can reach out to the Chamber. We're going to have a bunch of new workshops. We have one actually, a town hall meeting scheduled in about 4 weeks out, where you'll be hearing about next week, which will be about some of the cash flow considerations and how do businesses manage through the kind of cash flow. So we're talking about today business relief grants, which is awesome, but how do we maintain the viability and prosperity for our businesses? So if folks want to reach out and connect, what's the best way for you, Jordan, to give them service? Email?
Email is probably the best way at this point. I'm inundated with a lot of phone calls about the grants. Hopefully that will quiet down by next week. But email is, and if you have a question about the grants, it'd be easier if you email reliefgrants@ci.wilsonville.or.us.
Okay.
General economic development questions to my email address at vance@ci.wilsonville.or.us. And then you see the link here for the application page. It has the overview of all the program eligibility, and then a link to FAQs, and then also a link to the application.
Right. And so ongoing, it's a good place to look at the city because as a resource page, Jordan and I compare lots of notes, and we're always sharing stuff back and forth. So whether you're looking on the Chamber website, but you should always look at the city website as well, because there's great things there. We appreciate you stopping in today for Wilsonville Live at noon. Keep up the great work. And we thank you very much, Mr. Jordan Vance. Thanks.
Thank you so much for having me, Kevin. Have a great day.